Thank you, Madam Speaker. In March 2015, the Premier wrote an op-ed that, though no one knew it at the time, was a preview of the PC's first term. I table it. It was titled, "A Plan is in the Works," and in it the Premier announced that he was planning to have a plan. For more than 4 years later, little has changed. And last year's Deloitte report said, quote, "The province is unable to articulate a forward-looking vision for Manitoba's economy," end quote. Now, was the Deloitte report mistaken? Is the problem that the province doesn't have a plan, or that the Premier doesn't?
The Honourable First Minister.
Madam Speaker, I want to also say thank you to the member for Logan, who I understand is also intending to give up this wonderful career. And I wish her very, very sincerely all the best as she goes on in future endeavors. I know from her personal background that she will always be involved in this province and its communities, and that she will give of herself in any way she can. She's a person of great service. She served as the Minister of Culture in the previous government and served well, and she has also taken on the responsibility of being the interim leader prior to the election of the member for Fort Rouge, and filled that position admirably as well in a difficult time of challenge within the opposition caucus. So I say thank you to her, and sincere, as I consider her to be a sincere and honest person, and I thank her so much for the chance to get to know her a little bit better, and all the best to her and her family in the years to come.
Here. The Honourable Leader of the Second Opposition on a supplementary question.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. It's no secret this government has trouble getting things done, and it's starting to put Manitoba's economy at risk. This government can't get prospecting permits out the door. They've shut down government offices so people can't start businesses, and the Premier keeps picking fights and breaking deals. We've seen this government and Hydro break deals with municipalities, businesses, the federal government, community organizations, all of which should be bad enough, but it's worse because this government appears to be actively preventing investment in Manitoba. At last count, this government was leaving $1.5 billion in federal housing and infrastructure funds on the table. The Treasury Board thesis was that delays cost the economy. Does the Premier know how much his obstruction of $1.5 billion in investment for more than a year will cost the province?
The Honourable First Minister.
Well, rejecting most of the overtly silly preamble of the member opposite, I would say this: we lead the country in the last 2 years in attracting private sector investment to Manitoba.
Right. You're here.
And Madam Speaker, we do that because we are focused on encouraging job creation and partnering with the private sector by creating a more stable environment where there is less waste, less duplication, and better delivery of services, better results, Madam Speaker, more focused spending. These are really not exclusively Manitoba concepts, but they're concepts Manitobans live by and live with within their own families, within their own small businesses. And the member opposite, not perhaps understanding that, doesn't understand why this progress is happening, but I can tell them that it is, and it will continue. The only thing better, Madam Speaker, than today in Manitoba will be with this government in charge tomorrow in Manitoba.